Welcome to Vermontitude, a collaborative effort between Great Eastern Radio, the Brattleboro Reformer, and BCTV to bring you the stories behind the stories on the topics you want to learn more about. Because there's always more, so there'll always be Vermontitude. Hosted by me, Peter Fish Case. Welcome to Vermontitude. New episodes drop every Tuesday and can be found by going to vermontitude.com, reformer.com, brattleboro.tv, and locally on Comcast Channel 1078. We come to you from our studios at the Innovation Box on Landmark Hill. I'm Peter Fish Case, and each week I cover the topics that are of concern to Windham County and the towns that reside within its borders. Today, joining us, the program, David Gartenstein, who's running for the state rep position representing District 9. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Peter. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. So, for those that might not know who David, you've been around. Your name's been in the community for a while. What's your official job title?
I'm a deputy state's attorney at the Windham County State's Attorney's Office. I've been there for 20 years. 20 years,
okay. Yep. You were also a former select person here in town?
I served on select board from 2011 to 2017 for 6 years. I was 4 years as board chair.
Okay. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, for those who don't know.
I got here to Brattleboro for the first time in 1982. I spent 6 years up here right when I first got here, 3 years working at the Common Ground restaurant and 3 years working as a teacher. I then went back to New York for 7 years and practiced law and went to law school there. And then I came back. I've been back here since my middle son was 29 years old. And I've been working and living in the community ever since. I live right at First Street south of the ski jump. I get to walk to work every day.
Okay. All right. Well, I've seen you ride your bike too.
I ride my bike too.
Yeah. So let's drill right into it. Like, why am I voting for you? What's the biggest issue you see right now? And I want to cover the myriad of things that you want to try to fix while you're up there, or help, or move forward. But like, what's the biggest issue you've got?
The biggest issue of concern to me has to do with the taxes that our community has to pay.
Yeah.
We face a very substantial tax burden, and my review of the tax records and the statewide tax data indicates that we're paying unfairly high taxes here in Brattleboro because we're the region's economic hub, and we have to support all the infrastructure for the economic activity that's happening here in Brattleboro and for the entire county. And so we, like other economic hubs around the state, are paying very high real estate taxes. We don't have other ways to defray those expenses because the state only allows us to raise certain types of revenue. And so I'd really like to work with other similarly situated municipalities to try to deal with better revenue sharing back from the state.
All right, that's it's nice to hear, because I know that we address that at a select board level as well, and some of the concentration we'd like to see around those issues. But that can't be the only issue.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. As a result of my work in the criminal justice system, I see the real problems that arise from not having comprehensive substance abuse and mental health care in the community. It's a problem at the community level. It's also a problem within the state's correctional facilities. There isn't enough comprehensive substance abuse and mental health care. It impacts us from what people see on the streets. I've been canvassing now, Peter, for about 30 days. And one of the biggest issues people raise with me has to do with not feeling safe on Brattleboro streets.
Right.
And we know that the housing crisis and people who are unhoused include about a third who are experiencing substantial mental health and substance abuse issues.
Right.
And so providing that type of comprehensive care should help address those issues as well.
Okay. Let me sort of like at this stage where you're at now, Tristan Tolino has decided he doesn't want to run again. And, I always feel it's good to have a contested race so that people have some real things to weigh and ask. But what was your motivation to do it?
I've always been interested, Peter, in being in the state legislature, but I spent quite a bit of time focusing on very local issues in local elected and appointed positions. So I've served 9 years on Development Review Board. So I'm very aware of local land use law issues and development issues. I spent 3 years on high school board and 3 years on town school board here in Brattleboro. So I'm aware of school governance issues and school budgeting issues. And then I spent 6 years on select board. At present time, I'm town meeting moderator and I'm on the Charter Review Commission as well. So I think I've got a solid experience, broad and deep, with local governance that will effectively work to represent the people of Brattleboro and Montpelier.
Okay, all right. It's a good answer. It's a fair answer. And I think it becomes this thing, and what I like to say is like democracy does not move quickly. Neither does creating laws and doing all those things. Are these like among those things like that you feel we could move faster?
I think that
That's a big question.
The legislative process moves slowly.
Yeah.
And I first raised issues relating to our tax burden when I was on select board. Whenever administration would come with the annual request, my first inquiry back would be, what's it going to cost? And can we afford it?
Right.
And I think that's an inquiry that has to be made throughout. We've been working on seeing whether we can get tax relief for Brattleboro as a result of our status as regional economic hub for 10 years. I'd like to work on that in Montpelier. How quickly change will be made, I can't predict.
Right. No, it's.
I hope that answered your question.
Well, it's a little bit of a question that even if elected, it might be just a scooch above your pay grade, right?
Well, another example, right? The deinstitutionalization that accompanied the Reagan administration and the decentralization of delivery of mental health care.
Yeah.
It was not accompanied by really a strong development of infrastructure to provide mental health care in the community. And we're still struggling with that now. So these are issues that have built up over time, and we hope to address them and be able to focus on them so that the community is a better place to live.
Okay. All right. That's a fair answer. So, and as you know, I had Ian on, and so I'm trying to extend this to everybody who is running, especially in contested races. And it's a hard question to ask. It's even a hard question to answer because the one thing about Vermont politics is we remain civil through the whole thing. But why are you a better candidate than Ian?
I like Ian. He's a good guy. We're remaining friendly and collegial throughout this race. I come to the table here with significantly more experience. I've been doing this work for 25, 30 years as a prosecutor on select board, on school boards, and in other municipal positions. Enthusiasm and passion for the work are not virtues that are reserved just for the young. I've been working way hard on this work for a long time, and I look forward to representing the people of Brattleboro going forward if I'm elected as a state representative.
Right. Okay. So again, just to remind everybody, this race for District 9 is contended between David Gartenstein and Ian Goodnow. So District 9, if you've got a tough choice to make. I'll just put that out there. David, is there anything like that you feel we might have missed here?
I want to thank you, Peter, for covering local issues like this. I encourage voters in Brattleboro to get out and vote and to take a good look at all the candidates who are running. I think that I offer a lot to the people of Brattleboro, and I look forward, if you choose to getting your vote, please look at my website, www.davidgartenstein.org.
Okay. David, thank you for jumping on Vermontitude. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule.
Thanks, Peter.